Hello everybody and big welcome to cEDH TV gameplay, where I have a competitive commander match for you where you get to follow me and my perspective. In fact, this entire battle match is being narrated by me from my view, how I see it throughout the entire game, from all actions and plays as they are being made, while you get to follow my thought process and strategy, but also how I try to learn from my mistakes. Today I am playing a Turbo Grixis Oddnos deck with green, basically Peer, Oddnos, Underworld Breach, Thrasios Consult, but with Max and 11 as the commanders. With us also we have Pontus playing Tevesh Ishai. This is one of his 4 decks that he's gonna play with in the MLC tournament. Have no fear, death is here. Death Magic is also participating in the MLC tournament, and in this battle, he's playing Grolnok. And last in turn order, we have Tangelo playing Rograkh Thrasios Polymorph deck, trying to find Tide Sprout Tyrant or Hullbreaker Horror. Those are the commanders and players. Now let's take a look at my opening hand. I don't like this opening hand. It is very limiting. We're gonna shuffle this one. This is great. This is amazing. We have Peer. Peer would be great, better with Oddnos, but we have a Mana Crypt, Mox Amber, Swan Song, Phantasmal Image. Amazing stuff. Yeah, this is a hard keep. I'm gonna draw a card for turn, play a Mana Crypt, and I play a Wooded Foothills, play a Mox Diamond, pitch a Command Tower, and I'm gonna sacrifice this for a Bayou, and let's do a Max. Attack at Pontus for free. Then I pass turn. Feels great. Feels really good. Pontus plays a Mox Diamond on his turn. Then he plays a Draenei Magistrate. I'm happy I got my turn 1 max here. Not gonna get an 11, but then he plays an Exploration. Turn goes to Rograkh and Thrasios. Begins with a Mana Crypt. Costs Fateless Looting. He discards Brain Freeze and Sylvan Library. Costs a Springleaf Drum and pass turn. Draw a card for turn. Don't take any damage from the Mana Crypt. That's great. Attack Pontus with my Max. You know what? I want to cast a Phantasmal Image. Phantasmal Image is going to become a copy of Draenei Magistrate, so only me can have Commander Max. Then I pass turn. Pontus plays a Marsh Flats and fetches, and plays a Fellow Stone and pass turn. So we're in some form of stacks game, kinda. Draenei Magistrate preventing commanders from doing cool commander action. Dev plays a Colosseum, another land, and then he plays a Lightning Greaves. It's gonna be great when he gets rid of those 2 Draenei Magistrates. Angelo draws a card and goes to his turn. Angelo plays a Windfall. I'm gonna sacrifice my Bloodstained Mire in response to this, but then I have no further effects. Find a Volcanic Island. Dev responds by bouncing Pontus Draenei Magistrate back to his hand. Currently there aren't that many people with hands. Like I have the max amount of cards people are gonna draw is 3 cards from the Windfall current. There's a very mediocre Windfall. Draenei Magistrate is going back to Pontus' hand. Angelo casts Chain of Vapor on my Phantasmal Image, making it die to a sacrifice. Then Pontus spell pierce the Windfall. Windfall is countered and both Draenei Magistrates are gone. Angelo casts Rograkh and passes the turn. I take 3 damage from the Mana Crypt. Go to my turn, untap and draw a card. I want to play Mystic Remora by tapping the Volcanic Island. Then I'm attacking at Pontus again for 3 damage with my Mac. Then I pass the turn. So we could have cost 11 here, but Mystic Remora is a really good card to enable, and it really shuts people off. Currently I think people are going to try to cast their commander, so Fish isn't like that great, honestly. But the chance of Fish giving some value is still pretty good. Also, I have a Swan Song in my hand, which I want to keep my mana open for, and here's Pontus Draenei back into play. So my wind of getting 11 is gone, but I have a Fish. I'm happy with the Fish. And there's a Necropotent, so I draw a card. Necropotent though. I'm really happy I've been smashing Pontus, like that's why you attack black player. I draw an Underworld Breach from the Fish. Kinda nice. I wanna cast a Swan Song on the Necropotent Pontus. I feel it's very important to prevent that Necropotent. Like even if we've smashed him for a bit, but 30 life is still a lot, he could really do some really crazy things with that Necropotence. Turn goes to Grolnok. Grolnok is casting an Oko. Not paying for Fish, so I draw a card. I draw Jeska's Will. That's great, actually. He's +1 and making the Draenei Magistrate into an L. I think we're gonna smash that Oko though, because I think Max might. I don't know if Max is gonna be the next. Then he casts a Jeweled Lotus, and I draw a card from the Jeweled Lotus. And with the Jeweled Lotus, Grolnok comes into play. He equips Lightning Greaves to the Grolnok, giving it haste. He swings me for 3 damage. He exiles a City of Brass and a Chromos. Plays a land drop, City of Brass, because of its exploration. He uses his Springleaf Drum with the Rograkh to cast Thrasios, the Triton hero. My Jeska's Will isn't that as amazing as I hoped, because The maximum hand someone has is 2. Yeah, people have emptied their hand, they haven't really developed anywhere. But the fish has been really performing good. Thrasios passes turn to me. On my turn, fish triggers. I will pay with a mana crypto. Then I will go to my turn and draw a card. I'm gonna play an Underground Sea. It's a land drop. So we're 1 mana away from having the 7 with the here into the abyss. It's a little bit annoying that they don't have enough cards in their hand to actually fuel my Jeska's will. I think we're just gonna pass turn here and be ready. Or maybe 11. If I play 11, I don't have mana. I don't really have much interaction in my hand anyway. Maybe 11 is fine. Maybe 11 will probably just get elk here. Or Thrasios will be elk here. I don't see a problem 11 being elked here anyway. They don't really have that much cards in their hand to like throw off the game and do something crazy. So I think we're gonna just cast 11 here. I'm gonna tap out for an 11. 4 mana CMC commander. And then I wanna attack at Uku with my max for 3 damage. And then I pass the turn. Pontus goes to his turn and draws a card. He plays an Exotic Orchard land drop. He plays Tevesh. I draw a ritual. I'm quite happy about drawing a ritual. That's gonna help me like achieve my win here, my peer into the abyss. But the turn goes to Deaf Grolnok player and he draws a card for a turn. He goes to combat. He swings with his Grolnok at Angelo, triggering the frog, flipping Elder's Evolution, the werewolf that can sacrifice and destroy artifacts and enchantments, and a Traumatizes goes to his graveyard. Traumatizes is a spell that will mill half of his deck. So the only thing he hits is something that destroys an artifact or enchantment. Then he elks 11, and 11 becomes a free elk. It's okay, it was bound to happen. And then he casts Winds of Rebuke targeting Thrasios, giving me a card draw. In response, and Thrasios activate. I draw Tropical Island. Not happy about that, I have enough lands in my hand already, but sure, we have to dig through the deck somehow. But it currently looks like I'm gonna cast my Peer into the Abyss on my turn. Thrasios reveals a volcanic island that he puts into play, tap. From the Winds of Rebuke, I mill a Tainted Pact and Mana Vault. But something really scary happened here. Tangelo, the Polymorph player, milled a Reality Scramble. A spell he can cast from his graveyard to polymorph one of his creatures and potentially win. Grolnok cast the werewolf that can sacrifice to destroy an artifact or enchantment. This creature could potentially be sacrificed to destroy my Underworld Breach, but currently he can't pay for it. Turn goes to the Thrasios Rograkh player, and well, he just put the combo piece into his graveyard that he can use from the graveyard, so let's see if he gets there. He has a Mana Crypt and a Rograkh, so he definitely has the bounce synergy. What this deck is trying to do is get the Tie-Sprout Tyrant or the Hullbreaker Horror into play to create a loop with Rograkh and, for example, the Mana Vault there to gain infinite mana. He casts Gamble. We draw a Ritual Wall, which is good for our ritual when we want to win with a peer, so that's good. Sadly, we don't have a way to interact with this guy if he tries to win. We did tap out for our land that can potentially interact with him. So maybe casting 11 here was a little bit too risky. It felt safe to do it. I mean, it's gonna be elk, so it was a little bit maybe unnecessary. If this loses me the game, that was definitely the misplay. Because now I can't pay for the Otobara land to interact with Tangelo potentially. Tangelo discards Thrasios to the Gamble. Tangelo, the Thrasios Rograkh player, discards Command Tower to cast Reality Scramble targeting Rograkh. We draw a card and we draw a land or an elf, which is really sad, so we don't have a response to this. This means that he's going to flip his deck until he finds the first creature he runs into. Tide, Spout, Tyrant. He actually also has Hullbreaker Horror inside the deck as well for more density. He plays a Fabricate, targeting the Mana Crypt for the bounce trigger. This is giving me a card draw, but I still don't have any response to this. With his Fabricate, he finds Mox Opal. He casts Mox Opal, and with this he's targeting my Remora for a bounce effect. Sadly, we draw land. We didn't draw what we needed, so fish goes back to my hand. I definitely shouldn't have cast 11 here. I should have kept my mana open. With this, he can create a loop by casting Mox Opal, casting Mana Crypt, bouncing the 2, making infinite mana with the Tidespout Tyrant. And I basically lost the greed here. Typical. Now, Tangelo's win is actually quite amazing and it deserves its own explanation in detail. First up, he can loop the deck with the Noxus Revival and turn the Earth. So here from, he can basically loop any spell, or any 2 spells basically. The 2 spells he's gonna loop, or well, cards, is Barbarian Ring, a land, and Crop Rotation. Barbarian Ring can be sacrificed, deal 2 damage to a creature or player if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. So you just cast a bunch of spells until you have a big graveyard. Then, with the Turn to Earth, you're shuffling them back into your library. With infinite Thrasios activations, you can scry and make sure that Barbarian Ring goes to the bottom of your library, never putting it into play with Thrasios, until you draw into Crop Rotation, sacrificing any land, you put Barbarian Ring into play untapped, sacrifice it, dealing 2 damage,
then use Turn to Earth and Noxus Arrival to loop this infinitely. If I never casted 11, I think I would have had the win there. I would have bounced the Tide Sprout Tyrant with my Ottovara land, I would have gone to my turn, I would have ritualed, I would have peered into the abyss, drawn my entire deck, and yeah, definitely won there. So yeah, it was definitely greedy casting 11 there. But big congratulations Tangelo for winning the match. I hope you liked the video and thank you so much for watching.